Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Bert the Stormtrooper and this is the home of That's Just Prime, the comprehensive Optimus Prime review series. I also review other Transformers, lots of G1 stuff, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, GoBots, and pretty much any other toy that may jump out at me. I also do the occasional arcade and pinball machine videos, unboxings, blogs, challenges, and miscellaneous videos where my daughter usually makes fun of me. Those are a lot of fun. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking me out. Please be sure to click that subscribe button and don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share if you like what you see. Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Decepticon Clone 2-pack Pounce and Wingspan. This is a Target exclusive. It was released back in July of 2020 and originally retailed for approximately $25. I just found these guys yesterday on clearance for 17 bucks. I had to jump on them right away, and as soon as I got these, I got online and I ordered the Autobot 2-pack as well, so those are coming. So I'm a little late to the party on these guys, but I'm really looking forward and excited to get into them. So as you can see here, they are packaged in the window box. War for Cybertron Trilogy. They are packaged in robot mode, so you can just see them right away, what they look like right there. And you know, they're clones, so they're supposed to look identical in robot mode, but they're both going to transform into different beast modes. So of course, Wingspan's going to be a bird of some sort, and Pounce is going to be a big cat of some sort. Not a whole lot to see on the sides there, just a little bit of artwork of the figures, and of course of the Earthrise stuff right there on the sides. And then on the back, we're going to see product shots of both Pounce and Wingspan, and shown both in robot mode and in their beast modes. So without further ado, let's get these guys out of the package and check them out. And here we have Pounce and Wingspan out of the package. I've got them transformed into their beast modes and showing everything they come included with. So they come with their instruction sheet, of course. So you got the instructions. They're pretty simple figures. You're probably not going to need these, but here they are in case you do. One figure per side. They've also got their backdrop with the piece of the map and their decoder, and of course the two figures themselves, which come with no weapons, which is unfortunate, but I'll address that in just a moment. Let's take a look at the map real quick with the decoder. Don't know if that's going to show up on camera or not, but it's Planet Aquatron is the one that we've got here for this one. And then of course we've got the figures themselves, which we have one that is a bird mode, falcon and eagle, whatever you want to call it. It's a Cybertronian robotic bird. And then again, we've got a big cat mode, puma, jaguar, robotic big cat, whatever you want to call it is probably correct. So I'm not going to get into semantics of which bird and which big cat this is. They're a robotic bird and a robotic cat. That's about it. So for Pounce is going to be the cat. He is about 4 inches long, about 2 inches tall, good, nice size there. And then Wingspan's about 3 inches long. He's got an impressive wingspan of about 7 inches. Really, really nice. Let's get in close and take a look at these guys. And yeah, they're very serviceable little beast modes. I like these a lot. They're, you know, detailed in that teal, purple, and white. Very nice head sculpt there for the cat, going all the way around. We got a little bit of kibble on the underbelly there for the arms. Little tail back here in the back. He stands just nicely. Articulation, the legs are going to move the way you expect them to. So at the shoulders and the knees for the front, shoulders and the knees for the back there. And they can kind of bend backwards like that for transformation if you want to do any kind of, I don't know, pouncing poses. He is a cat. His name is Pounce, so you can make him pounce, and the tail can move up and down a little bit. That's about it for him as far as Wingspan goes. Not a whole lot really. The wings, I guess, if you mistransform it, the wings can kind of move up and down some if you want. You can take the tips here. These are on pins, so you can kind of move these up and down a little bit. The tail can also move back and forth a little bit. And the little feet here, these can move back and forth a little bit, so you can have them in a nice standing pose, kind of the way I have them now. Or you can kind of tilt them forward to make him look more like he's flying, you know. So there you go. That's really kind of about it. They are smaller figures. These are going to be smaller than your deluxes. They are about, I would say, like a basic class figure, if you remember what those were like. So about the size of the current Bumblebee and Cliffjumper is the size that these guys, I would say, are. Which brings me to another point. You know, I've said this with Cliffjumper. I said this with Bumblebee. I did not see a reason for those figures to be $20 at a deluxe price point by themselves, just because they added a big weapon with it. And it would have been nice if they would have just packed Bumblebee and Cliffjumper together and sold them together in a 2-pack. These guys and the Autobot clones are proof that that can be done. You put 2 figures in a 2-pack, fine, bump them up by $5. You know, these were $25 for the 2 figures. You could have put Bumblebee and Cliffjumper in a 2-pack for $25, and I think everybody would have been happy to get them for $25 for the 2 of them. They did it with the clones. The Decepticon clones and the Autobot clones both were like that, so I don't see why, though, Bumblebee and Cliffjumper were not. But anyway, moving on, this is about these guys here. Like I mentioned earlier, they did not come with weapons. So what I like to use is, again, I use the weapons that I got from, these are 3D printed weapons that I got from Mike over at Firetox. I'll put a link to these down below. You can print these out if you have your 3D printer, or if you have an access to a 3D printer, you can get these files for free and print them yourself. Otherwise, you can reach out to Mike and see what he can charge you for printing them out for you. So these are the Spark Smasher pistols that I'm using here. And so what I'm doing with, I actually found a way to put them in their beast modes. With Pounce, it's really easy because you just put it in his hand and tuck it under his belly. And now he's not going to cooperate with me, of course, but there you go. I just put it in the robot hand and tuck it under the belly, and that works perfect for me right there. So that's the way I've been doing it with him. And then for Wingspan, I just come along the back here, and I just tuck the handle and the magazine part right into this gap on the back of the bird mode here, and it's just tight enough to hold it in place. And it's not falling, it's not going anywhere, and it's kind of really not sticking out or being super protrusive or anything like that. So it would have been cool if the pegs were small enough to fit into these screw holes so you could put a little gun on the top here for both of them. That would have been cool. If somebody wants to kind of maybe, I don't know, come up with a weapon that they can peg to the top of these, that would be cool. But yeah, that is my solution for weapons for these guys, is giving them those. So, all right, let's get into, actually, before we get into transformation, let's do some comparisons with the aforementioned Autobot clones. So here we have Cloudbreaker and Fastlane there. So here are all of the clones together, so you can see what these guys look like together. Very cool set. Is if you get one, get the other, because it's really cool to just have all 4 of these. And when I review these 2, I'll probably make a note at the end of the video. I'm going to say something that I really want to say about these guys, but I'm also going to say at the end of these guys. But anyway, let's set these guys aside, and let's get into transformations. So we're going to start by removing these weapons that I've added for these guys and set them off to the side. And these, actually, you could leave it on Pounce. You could leave it, but let's just set them aside. And these transformations are super, super simple. So we're going to start with Wingspan right here. We're going to take the tail and, do we fold it up? No, we're going to take let's start with the legs. We're going to take these wingtips and fold them up. Separate the wings right here from the side of the body and bring these down on these hinges here. And here we're just going to bring the legs down and straighten these out. Take the arms and bring these out. The head of the bird is going to come all the way down, and take the head of the robot, straighten it around. And there is Wingspan. Set him off to the side. And now I forgot which... Actually, I like to use this one with this one. What I'm doing here is, if you notice these guns, the magazines are on offset sides. So that's how I've been doing these guys. Is I make him a lefty, and then I make Pounce a righty. So let me just correct that real quick. And we'll set him back to the side here. And then we're going to start on Pounce. So again, we're just going to take the legs here, bring them all the way back. Bring the cat feet and bring them all the way in. Take the legs, turn them around. Fold up the front legs and bring out the robot arms. Bring the cat head all the way down, and then you can bring these little leg pieces down like this. Take the head, straighten it. Mine is super tight. I'm going to give him his little gun. And here are Pounce and Wingspan in their robot modes, and they look fantastic. Here in robot mode, they are approximately 4 inches tall. So again, they are relatively smaller than a deluxe class figures. So just for comparisons, here he is with Prowl, or here they are with Prowl. So you can see quite the size difference with these guys. And then I'm going to bring in Bumblebee so you can see what I was talking about earlier. So there we go. They're about the same size as Bumblebee. So again, Bumblebee, Cliffjumper would have been perfect candidates for 2 packs, and hopefully if they're going to continue giving us any of the G1 mini bots, I would hope that they would pack them in 2 packs and give them to us for 25 bucks. I think that would be so much better. Just the way that these guys were marketed, I hope that they do the other mini bots that way. So let's get Bumblebee out of the way and let's focus on these guys. So yeah, so if you're not familiar at this point, I never brought the tail up. So yeah, we're gonna bring the tail up like that. That's gonna actually tab in. There's a little slot and a tab right here in the back. So bring that up and tab it into place. So if you're not familiar, the whole idea with the clones is that they are, well, clones. So they look identical when they're in robot mode, but when they transform into their vehicle modes, or their beast modes in this case, they're transforming into completely different things. And the same goes for the Autobot clones. We'll look at them in just a moment. For articulation, we'll look, well, here, let's bring them in close, just so you can see them a little bit more of the detail. And again, these guys are going to be near identical. Same head, same body, the same chest, same arms, same legs, everything is going to look just the same. The only thing that changes is that little logo there on the chest, indicating what they transform into. Minor mold differences in the legs and that kind of stuff. So as you take them all the way around, that's when you're going to start seeing the differences themselves for all the added pieces that they put in there so that they can transform into their respective alternate modes. For articulation, the head can turn side to side. Again, mine are super tight, but the heads can turn side to side. The shoulders can go forward and backwards all the way around. They are on a ball joint. They can go in and out as well. Elbows on a ball joint, so they can bend and twist as well as a rotation at the bicep. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Legs, again, the hips are on the ball joints, so forward and backwards, in and out. Rotation at the thigh, bend at the knee, and nothing really at the feet. So yeah, there you go. Fantastic, cool little figures. And again, for some comparisons, let's bring in the Autobot clones. And you're going to notice that while they're not identical, they are extremely similar. So again, the whole clone idea here. So you got the 2 clones Autobots, the 2 clones that are Decepticons. They're all very, very similar. Now, the 2 Autobot clones look identical to each other. The 2 Decepticon clones look identical to each other. They all look very similar because they are supposed to be like the same mold, the same clone kind of a thing. But of course, then they make little minor changes to themselves. So yeah, very, very cool set. If you get one, you should get the other. So here's what I was going to say, and I'm going to bring this more in detail with the Autobot review, but I'll say it now. These guys right here are perfect proof of concept that modern day pretenders can be done, especially when we look at these guys here. This guy right here, Cloudbreaker, his transformation is damn near identical to one of the G1 pretenders that I've already reviewed before. Both of these guys are extreme. He's very similar to Landmine, but this guy right here, his transformation is step for step nearly identical to Wave Riders, but he also makes a perfect candidate for Cloudburst. So again, we'll look at that when we get into these guys. Yeah, these guys are perfect proof of concept that we can have modern day pretenders. So I hope somebody hears that, and maybe that can happen, because that would be fantastic if we got modern pretenders. But again, here we are. The clones themselves, this is such a fantastic little set. All 4 of these are such a fantastic little set to get because they're so obscure when it comes to G1 characters. They're kind of lesser known obscure characters, and they're done so well, and they are such a very perfect or near perfect update to the original G1 figures. And I think that about covers the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Cybertronian Villains clone set of Wingspan and Pounce. What did you think of these figures? Let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I've got that donate button up there. If you want to hit on that, I certainly would appreciate it. Please share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time.